Hi, I'm Kevin Marshall. I've been representing employees and employers in Ontario for over 20 years concerning their legal matters relating to employment law. And during that time, I continue to get a lot of questions from people that have been fired. Some of them are not sure whether or not they've been fired. In those cases, I can help you through the steps you need to take in order to protect your rights. So I prepared a cheat sheet, which I'd like to share with you. And here's what the cheat sheet says. The first thing is you're unconditionally entitled to your back wages and your vacation pay. And also, almost every time you're entitled to the minimum required by law, which is called termination pay, which is 0 to 8 weeks of your base wages, and it's based on how long you've worked. Sometimes, if you work for 5 years or more, and the employer's payroll is $2.5 million, you're also entitled to severance pay, which is also based on how long you've worked with the company. The only exception to getting your termination pay and perhaps also your severance pay is if the employer alleges willful misconduct on your part. But if they do, they have to specify what it is and they have to be able to prove it. Beyond your termination pay and your severance pay, you're entitled usually to a severance package. In that case, your employer will ask you to sign a release. But don't just sign away your rights. You can negotiate for a better severance package. And if you do, you should also consider adding on some other factors which your employer will not consider. You may have been facing some discrimination based on disability, for example, that you may have been let go from your job because just after you got injured or had a long illness at work. Maybe you've been facing prolonged harassment from a coworker or a manager and you had to stop working. Perhaps there's a toxic work environment, same thing, you had to stop working. In those cases, you have a constructive dismissal claim, but your employer is going to dispute that. They're going to give you a lot of pushback. But you'll be entitled to just as much as if you were officially fired by your employer. The other thing to be aware of is your employer may allege termination for cause. In that case, they're only going to give you your back wages, they're only going to give you your vacation pay. But they have to be able to specify the reasons why they terminated you. And they have to be able to prove it. You're going to be in for another fight. At all times, you have to consider whether you've been constructively dismissed or officially fired from your employer, that you have to look for a job. You have to be able to prove that you've been able to look for a job. It's what's called mitigating your damages. And lastly, never forget you have 2 years from the time that you got fired from your job, that you've been harassed and you stopped working, within which to bring a lawsuit against your employer. 2 years. I hope this has been helpful to you. If it is, please click on the link below. We'll be happy to send you our cheat sheet. It's no charge, and please share it with your trusted friends and family members too. If you have any questions, any feedback on what I said, please send me an email at help@kmlawyer.ca, help@kmlawyer.ca. I hope you found this helpful. Take care and be strong.